Hello everyone, Bertina Amy here, and welcome to my channel. In today's video, I'm doing 4 Dollar Tree fall DIYs. So let's get started. The first is a Dollar Tree DIY unique pumpkin wreath. So the first thing I did is I grabbed one of these pumpkin wreath forms from Dollar Tree. Then I also grabbed 6 of these orange ribbons. They have a very nice shade of oranges in them. Of course, I go ahead and remove the tag off the pumpkin wreath. Then off camera, I went ahead and tried my idea, and I really liked the way it turned out. So in order to achieve the same look, I go ahead and take another ribbon and completely remove the ribbon from the spool. And I go ahead and flatten out any folded edges just to get the full length of the ribbon. Once I remove the ribbon completely off the spool, I go ahead and take it and find the center of it by folding it directly in half. And to get the neat folded edges, I also fold it in half lengthwise so that it's completely folded in 2 different directions. So with that first fold that folded my entire ribbon in half, I take that and I start to wrap it around the very top wire of the pumpkin wreath. And I keep the folded edge facing towards me at all times. Then I wrap both sides of the ribbon along the outer edges of the wire. And as I'm wrapping it around, I'm making sure that the folded edge is always facing towards me. And you can maneuver it until it does face towards you. Then I go ahead and take my right side ribbon and bring it over to the left wire, wrapping over and around or under, and hold it at that left wire while taking the left ribbon on my left side and pulling it under the other ribbon and wrapping it over and under, around and under the right side wire. Then I repeat those steps exactly in the same order, starting with the right ribbon, then going to the left ribbon, and completing that all the way down to the end of that column of wires. So to finish off the attachment towards the bottom, I'm just simply wrapping the ribbon around the wires once more, and then just making sure that no wires are visible, at least as very little bit of it as possible. And here, if you decided to cut off the tails, you are certainly welcome to do so. I would cut off maybe like 1/4 of an inch excess of the ribbon and then hot glue it to the back. So here I'm working on the stem of the pumpkin. This part is optional, so I'm actually doing this to make sure that none of the wire could possibly be seen. So I'm taking some twine and I'm just wrapping it and attaching it all along the wire for the stem. I'm basically just taking the twine, wrapping it around the wire, and then making a knot with it, and then just taking the long part of the twine, wrapping it around the wire, and making sure to make a loop with my finger, and then pull the end of the string through that loop, and then tying a knot that way, and repeating that process until the entire stem is covered. Once the entire thing is wrapped, go ahead and cut off the excess, and make sure to hot glue the very last little bit of piece of that string so it doesn't come undone. Then off camera, I had this spare bit of sort of ribbon. You can actually buy burlap ribbon at the dollar store, and it actually has wires along the edges. My ribbon for this one did not, but I go ahead and follow the same process in terms of attaching it, just like I did with the orange ribbon. Now, if you wanted to, you could just call this done at this point, because that sort of gap thing in between looks kind of cool. I really liked it, to be honest, but I really wanted to look like a full finished product, so I decided to buy another one of those wreath forms, and I go ahead and take a couple of clips and clip the ends of the wires so that I could keep them attached while I go ahead and attach more ribbon to the empty spaces. And trying to tie it around the exposed wires is a little bit tight just because I have to put one on top of the other, but it is definitely doable. And you basically just follow the same exact steps as you did from before, only making sure to wrap around both wires at the top and at the bottom. I hope that makes sense. And before cutting off the excess tails, I wanted the edges to look more finished. So what I did was I started by wrapping some spare tails and going around the outside wire and then looping it through in between every bit of ribbon that was previously there. I hope that's making sense, but you can probably see it on screen. And then I just repeat that process till I get all the way back up to the top, and any excess ribbon, I just go ahead and glue the little bit and then cut off any other excess. I hope that makes sense. Then for the bottoms, I go ahead and make sure those are completely wrapped around all the exposed wire. And then right there, you can actually go ahead and cut off any excess tails and then hot glue the little extra piece towards the back. And then go ahead and embellish this with whatever you like. I go ahead and add some green burlap leaves from Dollar Tree. And one of Dollar Tree's door hangers, I just put that over top the stem. I thought this scarecrow pick was really cute, so I add that in. I decided to take the burlap ribbon and wrap it around itself and then hot glue it off camera, and then I take off the excess and decide to try to fray it just so that it has more of a rustic look. If you use Dollar Tree's ribbons, you can actually go ahead and curl them if you'd like and make them as long as you wish. And to keep the scarecrow in place, feel free to go ahead and add hot glue to the back of this pumpkin. I'm considering maybe repurposing this for all throughout the fall season and adding other elements to it later, but so me personally, I'm not going to be adding any hot glue to the back. Feel free to add other elements of decor to this piece. I like to keep it simple, so I'm only just going to be adding this teal pumpkin to cover up the sort of seam within the door hanger hole and where the burlap leaves are connected to the pumpkin itself. I decided to keep the tails because I actually really like the way that this looks, and after the making of this video I go ahead and curl them off camera, but here is the final result. I really love the way that this turned out. Let me know what you think in the comments below. For this next DIY, I am doing a Dollar Tree DIY fall pumpkin centerpiece, and this one is super simple. In some previous videos, I have actually shown how to make one of these glass cases that I have created, so I'm just repurposing it again for this fall centerpiece. So I'm just taking out my sunflowers and the honeybee tea light, and I picked up this really cute jack-o'-lantern tea light holder, and I'm using that for the centerpiece instead. Then new this year, I found these orange burlap daisy picks that I thought were really cool. The word daisy is spelled very odd on here, but in any case, I decided to go with these and just pull off all the flowers off and then put them into the corners of my centerpiece. Feel free to further embellish this as you wish, but I'm actually keeping it just like this. So here's the final result with the lights on and with the lights off. Let me know what you think in the comments below. So in this next DIY, we are doing a Dollar Tree DIY fall pumpkin centerpiece again, but in a different variation, not using the glass case. So in the Dollar Tree Plus section, I found this really cool pumpkin that I thought would make a great centerpiece. And while it is fine the way it is, I wasn't a big fan of the decor at the top, so I decided to go ahead and remove those. And the best way to do that is with a pair of pliers, because the wires attached to these leaves and berries is entirely wrapped around the stem and everything, and also within the actual pumpkin itself. So you're going to need pliers so that you can get between the little crevices around these different attachments. I'm not sure how to explain it, but I hope that makes sense. But once you go ahead and unwrap all the wires around these areas, you'll be able to pull it right out with ease. Then I'm just adjusting the different layers so that it all looks seamless. And this takes mere seconds. Then I was going to try to get this to match my DIY wreath, but these leaves are way too large and I didn't really want to cut them down because I wanted to use them for a different project instead. So I decided to go ahead and decorate this piece using the florals I personally chose from Dollar Tree. So I go ahead and pull the leaves off of the daisy stems, and I really liked these leaves particularly because they had a little bit more color to them. And I go ahead and just lay them on top all around the top part of this in an arrangement that I liked, and then I went ahead and hot glued those down. I went ahead and attached all my florals off camera with hot glue, and I decided to also add a cute little scarecrow at the top. And to cover up the pick stick that it comes with, I go ahead and wrap it with some burlap ribbon, since that's what I had on hand. Feel free to use raffia if you have it. And here's the final result with the lights on and with the lights off. Let me know what you think of this in the comments below. And last but not least, I have a Dollar Tree DIY fall pumpkin centerpiece, and this basically is just a combination of the previous two. All I did was place the previous one inside of the case that I showed earlier. So here's the final result. Here it is with the lights on, and here it is with the lights off. Let me know what you think in the comments below. Which of these DIYs is your favorite? If you enjoyed this video, please smash that like button and subscribe. And until next time, we'll see you in the next one. Thanks for watching. Bye.